I saw them first at dusk, Harleys snarling down my private drive like metallic wolves, their headlights piercing the twilight haze as they formed a semicircle around my wife's car. My heart seized when I recognized the leather vests with Karen's HOA logo crudely stitched on the back. My wife, Olivia, sat behind the wheel, door ajar, expression taut as she confronted the nearest rider, voice raised at the hum of engines. I sprinted across the lawn, Delta Force instincts flooding back with every step. Assess threat, protect asset, neutralize adversaries. As I cleared the last hedge, Olivia locked eyes with me, panic and resolve mingling in her gaze. One biker lunged forward, revving his engine, and Olivia spun out from the car, body coiled like a spring as she unleashed a flurry of sharp elbows. Lightning kicks, each strike precise and brutal. The bikers recoiled, stunned by her explosive power. My mind registered. She'd never mentioned her underground UFC record. Before I could intervene, she knocked the lead rider down, his helmet clattering in the gravel. I didn't hesitate. Dropping my gym bag, I kicked into action. Delta Force training surged through muscle memory. One biker swung a chain. I intercepted with a blocking stance honed by years in special forces. The chain clanged against my forearm as I twisted free, sweeping his legs out from under him. Another charged. I sidestepped and delivered a disabling palm strike to his solar plexus. Engines roared as the remaining bikers scrambled back, confusion warping their bravado. Olivia, breathing heavy but eyes blazing, stood at my side, two warriors reunited on home turf. I pulled out my phone and hit record. Neighbors. Live from 712 Willow Creek. HOA Karen just outsourced thugs to intimidate us. Didn't count on a UFC champ and a Delta Force operator at home. The camera panned to Karen herself, standing at her truck's door, lips twisted in fury as she barked instructions into her cell. Get back here now. A biker shook himself off, rage contorting his face, but none dared approach. They retreated to their bikes, last man glancing back at us as though in disbelief. In that charged silence, I advanced, voice cold. You want to enforce HOA rules? Next time, use a citation, not mercenaries. Olivia's gaze softened as she replaced her gloves with her jacket, phone in hand to back up my feed. Karen stormed forward, face red as sunset, demanding to know our legal standing. I clicked through county records on my tablet. Our property deed verified full zoning rights, HOA dissolved by vote, no outstanding covenants. She sputtered at the screen's glow as I held it before her. Then came the twist we both knew was coming. At that moment, a low rumble announced Sheriff Collins's cruiser, arriving, lights silent but authority unmistakable. He stepped out, badge reflecting twilight, and called out, "All right, everyone freeze." Bikers halted mid-stride, leather jackets still smelling of gasoline and adrenaline. Collins approached Karen, handing her a copy of the county HOA dissolution certificate. "Ma'am, this HOA no longer exists. You have no authority to hire or direct private enforcers. You're facing charges for intimidation, unlawful assembly, and assault by proxy." Karen's knees buckled. She sank onto the tailgate of her truck, mascara streaked. The bikers peeled off their vests, tossing them aside like discarded masks. The sheriff turned to us, nodding respectfully as I pocketed my tablet. "You two okay?" Olivia offered a wry grin as she wiped sweat from her brow. "We're fine. Sheriff, just another family dinner disrupted." He chuckled, radioing for backup to process the bikers and Karen's truck. I ended the live stream with a calm flourish. Entitlement ends where force meets truth. Share your thoughts. Was this what justice looks like? Or did we invite too much warfare to our front yard? As Sheriff Collins called in backup, the stunned bikers pushed one another toward submissive crouches, their leather-staked helmets removed as they cowered beneath the suburban porch light. One by one, deputies handcuffed them in neat rows, echoing the lines of the picket fence behind them. Karen, still perched on her truck's tailgate, watched in wide-eyed disbelief, mascara running into rivulets. Neighbors emerged from open doors, gathering on the lawn like a makeshift audience. Phones illuminated their faces as they captured every moment. The Harley engines dimming under squad car lights, Karen's crestfallen slump, and remaining bikers led away. Olivia retrieved her car keys and walked through the crowd to my side, voice low and proud. "I didn't expect them," she admitted, stowing her phone in her jacket. "But I'm glad I was ready." I wrapped an arm around her shoulders, my Delta Force training still humming through adrenaline. "We keep our homes safe with truth and strength," I murmured. Once the scene was secured, I stepped forward for a rapid debrief with Sheriff Collins. "Evidence looks solid: trespassing, conspiracy, hiring private enforcers," he said, tapping his notepad. "We'll need witness statements and any video you've got." I nodded, handing him my phone and Olivia's livestream link. "All there. You can assign Deputy Ramirez to compile statements already on site." Collins glanced at the remaining officers and said, "Good work. Let's wrap this up before midnight." As the deputies loaded the last couple of bikers into the back of a cruiser, I ushered neighbors toward the blankets and folding chairs I'd set up earlier for our impromptu community gathering. The spontaneous rally had already evolved beyond spectacle. People conferred quietly, sharing tales of Karen's petty tyranny's fines for garden gnomes, citations for children's laughter, and prohibition of outdoor decorations. It was clear this incident was the culmination of months, even years, of escalating entitlement. In the flickering glow of streetlights, I addressed the crowd from the front porch, feeling their hopeful eyes upon us. Tonight we witnessed an extreme attempt to silence and intimidate us. That ends now. We have an opportunity to set clear, respectful boundaries for community conduct, ensuring our HOA, if any, serves us rather than scares us. I propose we draft a community code of conduct together, inclusive of conflict resolution steps and prohibitions against private enforcement actions. Applause rippled through the gathering, neighbors nodding as they pulled out notebooks and phones to take notes. Within the next 48 hours, I convened working sessions in my garage-turned community room. Under stark fluorescent lighting, 8 families gathered around folding tables. On a whiteboard, Jackson, our local surveyor, sketched boundary lines, while Sergeant Ramirez listed legal constraints on private security and private enforcement. Meanwhile, Mrs. Patel, a teacher, proposed a 3-strike rule for HOA violations, requiring written warnings, mediation, and only then fines. Mrs. Alvarez, a paralegal, outlined a clause forbidding the hiring of unlicensed security or any group of non-law enforcement individuals to enforce community rules. Olivia added a twist: an emergency community board that meets within 24 hours whenever force is recommended, ensuring any severe enforcement decisions are democratic rather than unilateral. Unexpectedly, deep into our third meeting, Karen's teenage son, Michael, knocked on the open garage door, clutching a crumpled letter. He hesitated at the threshold before clearing his throat. "Too need to say something. My mom's actions tonight, they scared me. She said she did it for order, but I saw people running, saw David get hurt, and I didn't say anything. I'm sorry." He extended the letter, a confession from Karen's own hand, apologizing for the escalation and admitting she'd written the biker group leader a check to organize the intimidation. The hush that followed was profound, an internal confession transforming our working session into a restorative circle. Michael's revelation became the humanizing twist that redefined the narrative. Karen's vendetta had been financed and orchestrated without community consent. Armed with this confession, we drafted the first comprehensive community code of conduct, detailing responsibilities for HOA board members, transparency in budgets, prohibiting any enforcement by private individuals, mandatory training in conflict resolution, and annual board member elections with recall provisions. We left space for amendments, inviting all households to propose adjustments via a secure online portal. During our fourth meeting, Collins joined as a special advisor on legal enforcement limits, offering to host a joint workshop on public versus private law enforcement roles. He clarified that only sworn officers could use force under law, and any community-sanctioned security personnel must be licensed under state regulations, providing a definitive legal boundary. Meanwhile, Karen faced mounting legal troubles. The district attorney filed charges including conspiracy to commit assault, endangerment, and misuse of 911 services. Her husband, a local accountant, blocked media requests for comment. It emerged the HOA's bank had flagged her payment to the biker leader as suspicious activity, freezing her accounts. That financial twist underscored the theme. Hidden entitlements exposed by transparency. On the designated day, under a banner reading Community Unity Code signing, neighbors assembled in our cul-de-sac's common area. Each household representative signed the code in indelible marker, penning personal commitments below. I will uphold respect, I will engage in dialogue, not force, and I will hold our leaders accountable. Cameras clicked as the signing concluded, our unified stance a vibrant declaration under the night sky. To commemorate our new era, I invited local martial arts instructors to lead self-defense workshops highlighting that preparedness should be for personal safety, not intimidation. Even Karen's son attended, learning protective techniques while watching neighbors practice cooperative drills. Weeks later, a local newspaper ran a feature, From Intimidation to Inclusion, How One Neighborhood Confronted Violence with Code and Compassion. The article praised our collaborative approach, quoting me, "We turned a night of fear into a blueprint for respectful community living. By codifying transparency and dialogue, we ensure no one can ever use force against us without consequences." The piece circulated statewide, inspiring other suburbs to adopt similar codes. As autumn leaves drifted down our newly peaceful cul-de-sac, I walked the length of the lane with Olivia and Michael, Titan at our heels. The wooden sign near the corner "Biker Ambush Backfires" had been replaced by a plaque engraved with our code's opening line. Community is built on trust, upheld by transparency. I paused, tracing the words with a fingertip before stepping back. I tapped my phone, posting in our community forum. Has your neighborhood ever faced intimidation? How did you turn that into unity? Share below to help others chart their own path to safety and solidarity. In that moment, under a canopy of crisp sky and warm porch lights, I realized that true strength lies not in intimidation or force, but in collective resolve to stand together. Delta Force, UFC, or civilian alike bound by the unbreakable code we forged in the shadow of one woman's overreach.